I wish I had a gummy bear. Alright, welcome back. We're going to finish up this anvil stand and mount the hay button on it today. Start off by leveling out these little side pads, 2x4s, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what the heck they are. This is where I'll mount the clips to. And I want it to be, I don't want it to have that angle to it. And I guess if I was a woodworker, I could put that on a table saw and get it just right and just perfect. But meh, that looks good. And I'll show you why I'm not too concerned about it. You'll see why later on in this video. Here I'm just hitting this with I don't know, 80 grit, 120 grit. Just try to get rid of the splinters. Make that top a little more uniform. And be done with it. I'll put a little color on it so it doesn't look like raw wood or raw plywood. I've got this conditioner. It's been sitting around the shop forever. I'm using it because of that. I don't like just throwing stuff away, so I'll use it. Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. Mad scientist up some stain. I'm using 2 different colors of stain, and you saw how careful I was to mix. And that's the color it became, so that's the color it's going to be. Wipe it on. A whole lot of care and attention to detail. And yeah, I'm not very patient when it comes to this kind of stuff. So you saw me just put 2 coats on. And yeah, wipe off my gloves so I don't wander around, touch everything. And then wipe off the stain, right? That's how it works. Okay, these two have been together for over 20 years, as I mentioned, 24 years or so, and now they're apart. So here's the bottom of a hay button. Here's the bottom of a handmade anvil. That square hole is part of how they picked it up. I'll show you that in a minute. But you can see just how not flat this surface is. I'm not going to put a whole lot of time into trying to make the top of my anvil stand perfectly flat and smooth when this is what I'm mounting on it. It's far from flat, smooth. It's not even square. Not square, it's not symmetrical. You can see the 2 little mouse holes. Those are 4 tongs. It's how it would have been manipulated around the shop when it was being made. Kind of cool. I painted it just to try and keep the rust down. Just in case any moisture got under there or something. That's why it's that ruddy brown color. And alright, now we'll get this over onto its new stand. Again, this is a 100-pound anvil, so be careful picking it up and be careful putting it down. Do a little knee press, and there it is. Yay, looks great. You can see how much wobble it has to it. And okay, maybe if I spent more time flattening the surface of the new stand, it would have less wobble, but it's still going to have wobble. And I'm certainly not going to grind down the base of the stand or base of the anvil. So let's get these clips on and we'll figure it out. That's the old clip. I can see it's not going to work, so I found a piece of 2-inch angle, and that will work. And here's what we're working against. You can see that corner, the left-hand side, is about 1/8 of an inch high, and it's even worse behind it. I mean, that's a considerable gap. So I really, I mean, I've got a few options that I can do here, but this clip system that I mount these with, it's got some adjustability. And you can see its opposite corner. I've got a little weirdness going on there too. So I'll get these clips on and see just how bad that wobble is. If I can live with it, I'm going to. And if I can't, then I'll come back at some other point and figure out what needs to be done. And here I'm just going to fight through the layout on the clip. I have to shorten one leg so that it contacts, so that's the right height to contact the anvil. and another not a very traditional blacksmithing tool. Really handy to have in the shop. So there we go. And I can see that it needs to be a little bit shorter, but it also needs to be shorter on one side, not on the other. So here I'm just eyeballing. Probably I'm starting in 1/8 of an inch, and I'm just cutting down to 0. Basically cutting a little wedge off of this. And then we'll punch a hole in the for the screw. Wait for it. Some gratuitous hammering. It's really all the hammering you're going to get to see. Slowed it down for your entertainment. Feel free to go back and watch it again. So anyway, there's what was I rattling on about? There's probably as many different types of anvil hold downs as there are blacksmiths. And this is the one that works for me. These are simple. They're very effective. And if something goes wrong, they're easy to replace. Practical. I like that word. Let's go with practical. Here we are. Get the other one in. I just draw these little registration lines on. Gives me something to scoot the anvil back up to. Alright, and you can see I spray painted it. Now watch as I screw this thing down. Watch how much it rocks and closes that up. And the other side is already screwed down and tight. So I think we're good. Use these dogs. I cut them out of a spool of rope a long time ago. And it just keeps the anvil from spinning under those cleats. And there it is. Done. A little more hammering. I don't even think I need the magnet. Got a little bounce and vibration to it, a little wobble. Not a wobble. It's a bounce and a vibration. But I think I can live with it. So I'm going to call it done. And maybe in the next video I'll explain why these anvils are at 2 different heights and how I decided what heights they needed to be. Maybe I'll go on about why they are, as you're looking at them here, oriented the same way, even though the horn faces in opposite directions. And or maybe I'll do some blacksmithing. That wouldn't be unheard of, right? I mean, that is why we're all here, isn't it? I don't know. I'm going to go look for gummy bears. I don't even like gummy bears, but for some reason I want one. Okay, thanks for watching.